In this video, we will talk about SQL alias. So alias are used to give a temporary name to a particular SQL table column or to a table itself. Okay, so we will see with the help of examples how you can create alias. So we have already seen the usage of alias for table columns in one of the earlier videos using the as keyword. So let's say I want to fetch the first name column with a different column name, then I can use the alias. So I'll just edit the query. Select first underscore name as first name of the person. Okay, so just for example, to demonstrate the concept of alias, okay, so here I have renamed the first underscore name column as first name of the person. Okay, so I'll just run this query. You can see now the name of the column is first name of the person. This is just a temporary name given for the purpose of this query only. Okay, otherwise the column name in the table remains unchanged. Okay, now let's just take a practical example of the alias. So I want to merge first name and last name and then give the name full name. Okay, so that I can do with the help of alias and using the concat function. So there is a concat function in SQL that combines two or more column values. So here I will specify first name and last name. That's what I want to combine. So I take all of the column names as arguments that we want to combine or concatenate, and in between I also want a space. Okay, so I'll just use a string like this with double inverted commas and between a space. Okay, this will concatenate the first and last name, and in between there will be a space as well. So select concat of this from employees. Okay, so I will just run this query to demonstrate the usage of concat function first. So you can see all of the first name and last names are now concatenated, but I just want to rename this column name as well. Okay, so I can use the as keyword here as well, as full underscore name. Now you can see the column name is full underscore name and the first and the last names are concatenated, and in between there is a space as well. Okay, now what I want is I want to find out the salary of all of the employees in front of their names. Okay, so here in the employees you can see I have the employee number and I have the first name and last name columns, but I do not have any salary column in this table. And when coming to the salaries table, here you can see I have a common column employee number and I have a salary. Okay, using this employee number I can find out that which employee has which salary, but here I do not have the first and last names. Okay, what I want to say is here in the employees table you can see the first employee ID is 10001. Okay, and then in the salaries table I can see for the employee number 1001 I have the different salaries for the different period of time. Okay, so if I want to fetch both of these things together, then I have to give reference to these both tables in a single query. Let me show you how we can do that. First of all, I have to fetch from the employees table. So I have to write employees, then dot. Okay, so here we are giving reference to the employees table. Employees dot first underscore name and then employees dot last underscore name. Okay, so this way I am selecting the first underscore name and last underscore name from the employees table, and then from the salaries table I want the salary. Okay, so for that I can do like this, salaries dot salary. Okay, now I have to specify names for both the tables in the from statement. From employees comma salaries. Okay, this is simply not enough. Okay, we also have to specify a relationship between the two tables. Okay, that we have to specify using the where clause. This might get a little bit complex for you, but you will eventually understand. So where employees employee number is equal to salaries dot employee number. So here basically we are telling SQL to fetch the values of first name, last name and salary. Okay, first name and last name we are telling to fetch from the employees table, and salary we are telling to fetch from the salaries table. And here in the from statement we are definitely specifying the names for both the tables, and here in the where clause we are telling the relationship between these two tables, that is the employee number column of the employees table is exactly the same as the employee number column in the salaries table. Okay, so let me just run this query. Now you see the values Georgie Fasillo okay, and the different salaries for the different period of time, okay. So you can see the latest salary of Georgie Fasilo, 88,958, and the first salary 60,117. So this way we are getting data from both the tables, okay. And now let me just edit this query. Now see, if I have to fetch the particular column from a table, from any one of these tables, from employees or salaries, I have to define the full table name, like employees here as well, here salaries. But I can make the query short by making use of aliases. How? Here in the from statement, I can write the as statement, employees as E. Here I can use the as keyword and then the letter I want the table to refer from. And similarly, salaries as S, okay. This way, what can I do is, I can simply write E here as well E, and here instead of salaries, I can write S, okay. And here also, I can specify E and S. Now, employees table is referred as E and salaries is referred as S using the aliases. So this way, our query becomes short and nice, right? But it will give us the same result. So I'm clicking on the go button. And here you can see it gives us the same result. So this way you can make use of aliases to give custom and temporary names to table or to columns. That's all about SQL aliases.